Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another Star Wars The Bad Batch review. Season 3, Episode 13. Let's see, Into the Breach, in which this episode follows up the last episode where Omega ends up going to once again back to Tantus, learning why she is needed there at the scientist base, due to the fact that her M count can be replicated and cloned with other Force sensitives, which she ends up meeting the children that that her clone sister has been taken care of, while the Bad Batch rescue Vice Admiral Rampart because he is their best bet to break out to find Tantus base and break in and rescue Omega and the other clones there. And arguably the Force-sensitive children once they learn the truth about that. But after a successful mission, Vice Admiral Rampart confirms that he doesn't know the exact coordinates, but knows the method and how to get there. We're about to find out what this method is in this episode and whether the Bad Batch can get to Tantus. Anyway, this episode begins where we see an Imperial nanny droid and a clone scientist and a few clone commandos. The scientist has a mustache out of detail. Enter the vault, the Tantus vault, where we see Omega and the other children there, where Omega is observing the situation and introducing herself to Eva, the Ikatochi alien that Emery Carr befriended the last episode, or at least made some sort of a bonding where they introduce each other. Omega learns what they intend to do here, where they are told to play some games, and also learn that Emery Carr gave Eva the Torian, arguably the only nice one amongst them. And learning that the scientists are always watching, with when then is introduced to the other two children, the other three children, where we see the Marine and Jax talking about how with him and Eva talking about how he wants to try to escape. Well, actually, that might be down the line in the episodes, as well as and we learn that the Pantoran is called Sammy, and also the Talifa, seems to be looking after the toddler Bran of the Tava race that was kidnapped by Cad Bane a few episodes back. But yeah, and she also learns that the Imperials don't really like them talking much, and that and Jack mentions that if they cause trouble, things get worse, which I think is pretty much the part where Omega learns that Jax tried to escape. But with after instructions, the kids all disband, where but before that, you do get Sammy trying to assure Omega that she'll get used to this fault here, but Omega, of course, is planning not to stay long. Anyway, we cut to the gas-covered world of Bravi, which, if I recall, was one of the old Camino, which was one of the old Camino cloning planets, in which you had the freeway battle between Cad Bane, Fennec Shand, and the Bad Batch. I really gotta remember. I really gotta try and remember the Star Wars names. Apologies, people. But yeah, they have been dropped off by Fee there, who it appears that will not be featuring with the Bat. Who seems like Demidus, who seems to confirm that last episode was Fee's last appearance, which I assumed that she was going to stick with the Bad Batch until the end, but I guess I was wrong. But it's fine. But she served her purpose pretty much, where they're on the world. Rampart is under. Let's see why on earth they're at this at a dump like this, pretty much, or as he calls it, blasted place. With Hunter threatening to send him back to the labor camp if he doesn't, comply with Rampart, reminding Rampart that he's only going to be free once they actually get at their exact coordinates to Tantus base, which Vice Admiral Rampart has tried to say that he's given them all a no, but you get Echo arriving with a stolen Imperial shuttle. So, which is why I have Echo's avatar for this episode's review. So, yeah. So, explains that he managed to steal, which he explains he managed to quickly steal the shuttle just rather recently, and it was like the quickest thing he had on the time. He doesn't really trust Rampart, but Hunter responds that even though they don't really trust him, he's their best shot at finding Omega. And with them on board the shuttle, we get them interrogating Rampart aboard the shuttle, where Vice Admiral Rampart talks about how Royce Hemlock keeps the base of the Tantus base a very guarded secret, and that in order to make sure any ship goes there, they must first dock at Imperial Station 3, which is above Coruscant, when the coordinates are directly transmitted to the Navigator. So the Bad Batch need to go to this Imperial Station, which Echo confirms exists, though he does not believe the rest of Rampart's story, but he's going like, let's see, are you accusing me of lying? Which both Crosshair and Wrecker in Synchron Union saying, yeah, you probably are a liar, which I do like that they pretty much confirm that, well, why would we trust you, pretty much. So I thought that was kind of funny. And but after like a bit of after that little debate, Hunter decides that they're going to try and travel to the station and pull the coordinates while they can, with Crosser saying that they'll need Imperial clearance codes, which Echo reveals that he's also actually got that as well. But Vice Admiral Rampart remains that this might not work as the codes change every rotation, which Hunter says that they need to do this mission now and soon, pretty much leave soon to the station and straight away then. And then Rampart points out that they can't really walk into the station in their current uniform getup. And Crosshair and Hunter then reveal to them that they're going to use Vice Admiral Rampart to get inside, which he's a bit reluctant to do so, and they give him an Imperial captain uniform, which he protests against since he was a Vice Admiral, finally confirming to me that okay, he was still a Vice Admiral, despite the fact that you had some people calling him Admiral in the show. So I'm finally glad that we have that clarification. Finally happy about that, but I do like Echo's joke that he's been demoted, which annoys him, but he agrees to put on uniform. And let's see, though he does comment about how he hates clones. But anyway. Sorry. Hay fever is stucking in. We then cut back to Tantus, where Emery Carr is extracting blood from Omega, where Omega asks where the other children are coming from, but Emery Carr does not know. But she tries to insist that they are looked after. But Omega, while she would like to believe Emery Carr, she arguably knows better, at the very least, that this place is not the best place for these children, pretty much. But yeah, and notices when the Tantus medical droids collect her blood and then get inside a test tube that's inside her room and goes in. While but Omega secretly steals one of the metal tools that Emery Carr is using while she's distracted, sorting out the whole blood thing and hiding it in her sleeve. And then Omega goes to the other children, where they're being observed by a Dr. Scalder, who let's see, once Emery Card comes in, objects to like Omega, like who's voices her concerns and objections that let's see, having Omega interact with the other children, but Car says that the kids are just engaging in the activities that they're doing, and it says that's fine and that they've got them all in order to keep their minds active. And the situation should be fine because they are always watching. But of course, she still remains skeptical since that didn't really stop Omega from escaping previously. And Car pretty much ends the conversation, reminding her that she is the chief scientist and she'll run the vote as she sees fit. Which you see with the kids playing with the blocks and cubes. With you got like Sammy just helping I believe Varen. Hold on, let me just see what the name was again. Not Braren, with his cubes and all that cubes. As he's a toddler pretty much, with Omega ends up asking about the movement of droids and troopers, with Eva saying that the droids come in twice a day to check on their vitals after meals. And this is where I made a mistake earlier of like, I got the bit of the conversation where Jack tries to escape. This is the bit where Jack says that he tried to escape, as the clones only come in when they cause trouble, with Eva pointing it out. But yeah. With Jack saying there's no way out of here and then never getting home, with Omega revealing that her secret to the other children, that she's actually escaped from this place before, which surprises them, and then adds that she's going to do the same with them, adding that she had training and help, and as a result promises to take them with them. And it seems like they want to believe her and listening to what she has to say, as she uses as while they were busy talking, she secretly devised the blocks to form a sort of perimeter showing out the layout of the vault, where they're surrounded, and the tubes they need to get in, and saying how she needs some time to see where those tubes at the droids go, and that if once she gets the access to the hatches, she can open them, but she needs to be unseen. So she can see a way to plan to escape, but Eva warns that it won't take long to notice that she is up to something, with Omega saying that she likes a challenge, so showing the confidence that she is able to escape. Anyway, we cut to like the Bad Batch, where let's see where they have arrived at the Coruscant. Hold on. The Coruscant with the Imperial Station 3, where you see the Bad Batch donning their uniform. Oh, let's see, Rampart donning his uniform, and the Bad Batch have burnt off the paint in their uniforms, making them completely black. Try to make them look a lot more Imperial-like, though there's still some bits of color from like certain parts of like the armor. But pretty much they've gone like all stealth mode, if you will. As they end up landing in the station, an Imperial lieutenant who's the technician, tries to ask what division the Bad Batch for, where the shuttles come from, because he's a bit suspicious of their armor. But Rampart steps in and says that their business is classified and under orders of Governor Tarkin, and that they should mind his own business, which this gets the clones, which gets the Imperial off their backs and lets them in. But I should probably mention that before they land on Docking Bay 5, you get a little bit where let's see Hunter saying that they need to move fast soon, with Rampart wondering that demanding assurance that he'll be released once this mission succeeds, with Crosshair responding that they'll have to you have to trust them just as much as they have to trust him in order to get this done. So it's like warning them that he has to put their trust, warning that they need to trust each other in order to survive this situation. But yeah, but of course he's doubtful because of feels like they stand out like Gamorreans. And with Hunter trying to remind Rampart that let's see, once they before they make that Imperial guy, sorry, I really forgot that little small detail, saying that the Empire, reminding Rampart that the Empire betrayed him. Let's see, and warns him not to betray them. And Hunter has Wrecker stay aboard the vessel. But once they've got that Imperial officer out of the way with the whole Tarkin thing I mentioned earlier, they go through a corridor where they walk as a squad of 4 with Rampart leading, with the 3 members of the remaining members of the Bad Batch walking behind. Let's see, Rampart enjoying how much he used to miss commanding Imperial officers, gets the Bad Batch to tries to get Echo to call him sir, but Echo says no. But gets a bunch of stormtroopers out of their guarding bit. But as soon as they encounter Imperial weapons technician in the station's manifest, in the threatening the troopers with violating Article 15 of Imperial Standing Order 10 with the stormtroopers, gets into the room they need where the tactician's there, asking for their sort of access to the computer, comm link to the access computer, where their little identify card, little card thing in the Imperial pockets. You just get Hunter stunning the guy, and they have Echo starting to hack in. Where meanwhile you have the Imperial lieutenant try to question Wrecker where their captain is supposed to be, with Wrecker knocking him out to prevent him from causing them problems. Anyway, we cut back to Omega and Tantus, where she tries to my mistake. Hold on. My mistake. My mistake. I scrolled down too bit to remind me of the episode summary, but you pretty much got let's see, Echo accessing the computer and Wrecker doing updates to the comm links, with Hunter telling him ready to be taken off, and Echo learns that there's a science vessel docked in Bay 8 that's scheduled to depart Tantus soon, with Hunter suggesting that they get to the nav computer and pull the coordinates, but Echo reveals that it's a tagged direct link to go as soon as it launches, with Crosshair saying that there's no way of pulling coordinates, and asks Rampart if he knew about this, but Rampart says, I don't know every little small detail of the tech stuff, so we get that, with Hunter saying that one of them needs to propose boarding, and then they need to board in order to reach the base, but Rampart points out that the science vessels have more tighter security than regular vessels, with Echo volunteering to infiltrate the ship, and Ritty disabled the proxy sensors, which allows the shuttle to attach itself to the thing, and they fly to the base together. Rampart protests against this plan, but saying that this was not what he signed up for, but Crosshair points out that plans changed during the mission, and then Hunter orders them all to go on radio silence. Well, now we cut back to Tantus base, where after, you see a bit of the children playing, Omega helps to her room, trying to, but you have Dr. Scowden notice that she's going in there, decides to try and check with her. Well, Omega quickly scrapes with some of the titles off to check hold on, to check out the droid's tubes, sees the way to where seems like she's got an idea of how to escape, hastily tries to put the TARS back after knocking a few of them over her head. See, Dr. Scout enters and finds Omega. See, just in her room, seemingly doing nothing, but after her suspicion's gone, she leaves, and then Omega tells the other kids that she has a way. She now sees there's a way out and has a plan in motion that she's going to try and do. Anyway, it's on. Oops, I've gone. There we go. Anyway, we cut back to like the the Bad Batch in the space station where Echo enters the Imperial vessel. Let's see where stormtroopers are trying to hang there. He encounters a few astromech droids who go through a tube where Echo realizes this is his best bet to get on the ship. Dretzi doing a bit of like stealthy jumps and hiding behind moved cargo. Let's see, one clone commando gets suspicious, but Echo gets in. That's like the same tube that the astromech's in. The vessel's about to try and take off. Let's see, with the Bad Batch getting back to the ship. Let's see, Wrecker removing the unconscious lieutenant. They take off to try and attach themselves to the ship. Let's see, the sensors on the ship gets the captain. Let's see, gets notice of Echo's presence with thinking it's droid activity, orders the stormtrooper to go there. Echo stuns him and is able to assure the captain that it was just some malfunction. Let's see, with Echo trying to download the coordinates as quickly as possible. Let's see, you get tension with like the Bad Batch wondering whether or not Echo's going to make it, but Hunter's confident with Rampart saying that this plan's foolish and tries to get him to cancel, but the rest of the Bad Batch stop him from doing so. And Hunter goes in to try and attach the ship. Echo is just able to just disable the proxy sensors long enough for the Bad Batch to attach themselves with the Imperial shuttle. As the episode ends with them jumping into hyperspace, ending the episode. Anyway, overall thoughts on this episode. Okay, let's see. As expected, you see Omega interacting with the kids, though perhaps I figured this would be more of half the episode, though I feel like this was more of a short B subplot, but you know what? I think it's fine. It did the necessary steps in what to do, not to do, and then let's see, we're finally where Omega probably pretty much expected befriends Eva first, as that was the one that we were most focused on. Learning a little bit about her and like about the scientists. I do like how Omega and notices that Eva seems to doesn't bring it up doesn't bring it up. I can tell that Omega from looking at Eva knows that she probably has the doll that she once made that was first confiscated and given back to by Emery Carr. Which it is nice to learn that Emery Carr is arguably the only nice scientist. We learn that she is indeed the only nice scientist to the children here. The rest just view them as specimens. So that's nice to see, which arguably is going to lead to probably Omega to try and trust Emery Carr to an extent. Well, she wants to trust her, as we see from later interactions. I'll get more into that in a bit, but I do like they learn each other's names and all that stuff. And we actually finally get a name of the Pantorian child called Sammy, who seems to took a role of being the big sister figure to looking after the toddler. Bran that was just kidnapped by Cad Bane. So I thought that was nice with her trying to help him do all like build with the blocks that they have and all that stuff. I do like how but yeah, well, Omega learns pretty much that, Omega tries to learn as much as she can about the whole thing, how the place is structured, what the group of scientists allow them to do and not do. It's like, seems to be minimal interaction, which I think makes sense because they don't want these kids to bond too much. And also, they probably don't want them trying to work together, which is what Omega ends up doing, of course. But yeah. We've got little warnings of causing trouble, but I do like how Omega is pretty much just observing the whole situation. Particularly like with her confidence and all that stuff, because she's escaped here before, and not to mention all the training she's gone from the Bad Batch. I like how when she is talking to Emery Carr after a bit of a blood sample, she tries to ask as much as she can, like what happened to all the kids, and Emery Carr saying she doesn't really know where they came from, but tries to assure Omega they're safe. But Omega knows that no one is truly safe here, especially since Nala Se warned her. So I do like that she when Emery Carr's distracted, takes a little metal bit and hides in her sleeve. So I thought that was quite clever, with her not noticing. I do like how she tells the other children that she's actually escaped here before, and this gives them a sense of hope and seems to give them a sense of like following, that they agree to like work with her to escape after she learns quite a bit, like how the scientists are all around observing them 24/7, how clones are outside, only coming in when they try to escape like Jax did. So I do like how I do like how when they were talking, she set up like a little visual map thing to be little schematic of like the whole spear, just to show that while doing that, while sorry, I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say here. While they were busy talking, she set up a schematic to show her plan of what she wants to do, like with the tubes, the scientists, and the thing. And I love the confidence that she has when like she's warned that she doesn't have much time to inspect like the droid tubes, which the where they collect their blood samples. But oops, accidentally turned on my TV. Wait, no, it's still off. But I do like that, and but yeah, I do like the sense of hope she gives. I also like how you see. Let's see, we got we got the doctor, I believe. Hold on. Dr. Scalder, who was, I believe, a scientist that was introduced the same time as, let's see, Emery Carr, but let's see, which I first thought she might have been a clone as well, but nope. She's just probably seems to be a regular human. It's serving as a bit of an antithesis, or maybe even an antagonist to Emery Carr's question of authority about when it comes to Omega, because she's clearly, which I assume that she's going to be built up as like let's see, Emery Carr's more personal enemy, with like the command thing, like with the whole Tanta space thing, where I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she tries to undermine Emery Carr or tries to stop her from helping the children eventually escape, because I assume that Emery Carr is going to eventually help the Bad Batch and betray Hemlock. Whether or not she's going to self-sacrifice herself or she tries to go along with Omega and the rest of the Bad Batch, I do not know. But either way, she is going to like either way, I believe this confrontation between the two is setting up for like a future conflict where she's going to try and question like Emery Carr's authority, and particularly like what she's doing here, saying how she does not like Omega interacting with the other children, but Emery Carr is confident, at the very least, that let's see, that the program she is set to like have them the games and activities she set has them keep their minds and testing them as much as possible, which is why they keep, where we learn this is why they allowed them to play the games, because, well, they want to keep them as active as possible, and arguably maybe help out, maybe do some stuff with their force abilities. If I wouldn't be surprised, but I could be wrong in that regard. But and that they're under observation 24/7, so it should be fine just to let Omega mingle. But I do like how Dr. Scowdle is, but like who also probably serves as a bit of a personal antagonist for Omega here, as she's the one that tries to observe Omega down the line. But saying that Omega did manage to escape here once before, but I do like how Emery Carr just tries to silence the conversation by reminding that she's chief scientist here. So how she does it goes. And then the next bit, you have Omega enacting her escape plan after like Ritzy getting the children to help her, where they just continue on playing. But you get, of course, Dr. Scallard, Ritzy, noticing Omega trying to disappear from the rest of like the group. So I do like how Emery, let's see, you have Emery Carr, no, not Emery Carr, Dr. Scallard trying to walk down. Now, granted, she seems to take her time, I will admit. She just seems to take her time because of how quickly Omega is able to take off the tiles, observe like the droid tube, and then put everything back together. Even though she knocked her head and knocked some of it down a bit, it's like she works fast. It probably took her like a while just to get everything back together in a neat and fashion, but she seems to do it quick enough just before Dr. Scald enters, which makes me wonder if Dr. Scald is a very slow walker. But I know it might be a bit of a plot convenience this bit here. But nevertheless, you got Omega has seen what she needs to see and sees what she needs to see to form a plan to escape, and is quite confident in telling the rest of the children that she has a plan for them to escape and that she's going to take them all with them and get out of there. I wonder if they're going to try and help Nala Se. I could be wrong. Who knows? I don't know. I expect maybe Nala Se to appear in the next 2 episodes. But yeah, 2 episodes to go. Time sure flies by fast. Anyway, that's the Omega subplot, which I thought was fine with what was said and all that. But yeah. Anyway, I do like how the coordinates and dropping point where the Bad Batch, rest of the Bad Batch are meeting off with Echo is a bit of a little continuity from like the show where it's the old Kamino base that was where they tried to rescue Omega from Cad Bane. So I thought that was nice. I'm glad that we finally got confirmation that Rampart is a Vice Admiral. Which I will admit, he is arguably for me the highlight of this episode, where he is just constantly doubting the plan. He just wants to get away, wants the Bad Batch to just keep their end of the bargain. Gets annoyed when the plans change and all that stuff, and even shows doubt on the whole situation, especially towards the end when it's like very close last minute thing with the whole part. Is like interactions with the Bad Batch are just hilarious, particularly when he's like, "Do you think I'm lying?" And Crosshair and Wrecker go like in sync, saying yes. So I do like none of them, and he goes like, "Oh, I hate clones." None of them. They don't trust each other. They don't trust each other. They're only working as a means of ends. Wondering, but it's like they need to work together. So you get stuff like Crosshair telling Rampart that let's see. You have to trust us as much as we have to trust you to get get this mission done with. But yeah, I also do like how funny it is when Vice Admiral Rampart gets annoyed at the fact he has to wear a captain's uniform. He's like, "I'm as a Vice Admiral," but you just got Echo going like, "You've been demoted," which I do like how also Echo refuses to call Rampart sir. Anyway, I think it makes sense that Echo pretty much comes in at this point in the episode. It's like 3 episodes left. We are like the big finale. It's time to like get the remainder of the Bad Batch together. So we've got like the final 4 members of the squad together, ready to try and bust into Tantus base, rescue Omega and all the clones. Arguably for sensitive children as well, and maybe Nala Se. Who knows? We'll have to wait. I assume that all of them are going to play a part in the episode somehow. Anyway, let's see. Anyway, the clones' new armor look. Let's see. Pretty much, in order to try and infiltrate the base, they pretty much remove as much of the paint as possible, and it's now all black. Which, to be fair, does make them look very imperial. Like as the Empire robs has pretty much robbed, like for the most part, all the stormtroopers of their they robbed like all the color coding in the armors that the clone troopers had, and just have mostly plain white, black, or gray uniforms depending on the sort of clone squad. I mean, the stormtrooper squad they're part of, with only maybe like special units having certain colored uniforms like that, like sort of like Inferno Squad in the Battlefront 2 game, or that like one stormtrooper squad that had that one guy with a lightsaber fighting Luke Skywalker at one point. I don't know. I haven't really fully read that series, but I just remember that antagonist in like one of the story arcs that I did read with the Star Wars comics at the time. Pretty good. I pretty much enjoyed it, but yeah, I need to try and catch up with that series again. But yeah. Anyway, so it's all black. I will admit, I do like the sort of like dark look. I think they, for most part, fit in. Though, granted, there's still some bits of their armor that's colored, particularly like on, let's see, Hunter's, I believe, the right shoulder, and both of, and Rekasu has the yellow bits of his like armor. But for the most part, they do look kind of like stormtroopers, just enough to sort of fit in. Though they do get questioned by like Imperial tenant that is in the base that when they enter like the station, but they go to infiltrate, and they mostly say it when Vice Admiral Rampart starts giving orders again, which I will admit I found hilarious with how confident he was able to get them. Let's see, most of the 2 out of 3 of the Imperials to listen to his orders. It's like, and he talks about how much he missed doing this. So yeah, I like how he was able to get the Imperial lieutenant to comply, stormtroopers to comply, but it was the tactician that said, "Okay, I need some ID chips or confirmation thing." But that's when you have like Hunter stunning the guy. But yeah. Anyway, back to like the armor uniforms. I like it. It looks, let's see, dark and thing, and let's see, arguably. This is probably what the Bad Batch. I wouldn't be, if this was like an alternative timeline where the Bad Batch never defected from the Empire. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what would have happened to their armor, stripped of the color and they're all black. But yeah, and they would have been like some sort of Imperial squad. But yeah, funny enough, I think the comic book squad I mentioned was let's see, Squad 99 of themselves. Which I think led to some people theorizing, are they the Bad Batch? But that was clearly not the case. They seem to just be, seems to be a reference to the number of that squad. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. I do like how, you got Rampart is able to help the clones infiltrate the base. But of course, that Imperial lieutenant does start to get more questions and asks Wrecker whether, let's see, Rampart is, since he's regarded as a captain, but you got, let's see, Wrecker just knocking him out, which let's see, is like a very Wrecker thing to, let's see, in character thing to do after going like he's doing captaining things. And I like how he puts on his hat for a bit while he's waiting for like Hunter and the rest to come back afterwards, and he does give the hat back after he drops them, after like the squad gets back. But I do like how let's see, the whole Station 3, I do like how it forces the Bad Batch to go to Coruscant to try and infiltrate like a space, and how like I think this method makes sense. It's like vessels get the exact coordinates from that ship, from that station to get to Tantus. But I do like how let's see, Rampart did not know the technicality of like it's immediately downloaded just as the shuttle's going to take off, which gets Crosshairs questioning, saying like, I don't know the detail. I don't know all the details. It's not something like I pay attention to, which I think makes sense. It's like it's a sort of thing I think you sometimes see in stories where someone knows the general idea of how to get there, but don't know the minor details because they don't pay attention to them. I'm probably sometimes like that myself, but yeah. But I do like how you get, this is where you get like Echo being highlighted here in the episode where he volunteers to infiltrate the shuttle and, let's see, to disable any sensors that the shuttle has, and seems science vessels are a lot more secured, which I suppose makes sense. So I'm surprised why not every ship in the Empire does not have these sensors. But I guess that it requires a bit of technology and resources, so who knows? So I guess it's like they can only really do it for like the important science vessels, or maybe like important ships, like maybe the Emperor's shuttle. I could be wrong, but yeah, I do like that's pretty much what you got there. But I do like how you've got Echo trying to after butting with some astromech droids, tries to get their tube, and he's doing like all his like agile and stealth combo moves to try and get in to the thing, but gets that and it does manage to get in, though he does seem to draw the attention of one clone commando, but the commando doesn't actually notice him, and it's just like he must have just been imagining it. So that worked out quite well. Let's see. Of course, the sensor. Of course, he's get trapped by the sensors in the thing, though he is mistaken as a droid, or at least, let's see, the droiding area of the shuttle. Can't recall what the guy. Let's see what was exactly said, but you do have the captain like get a stormtrooper to check it out, and of course, Echo takes him out quite easily, and is able to get the Bad Batch to and is able to get enough time to disable the sensors for the Bad Batch to attach themselves on. So he did his mission bit successful. So arguably next episode we'll have at some point Echo just getting off that science vessel, arguably trying to reunite with the Bad Batch. Not sure if it's going to cause a bit of a skirmish or not, but who knows. But I do like how intense the timing of like, can Hunter get the shuttle on, and can Echo disable the sensors in time? It's like you start to wonder, can he do it? Can he succeed? Or is he going to fail? It's like just to like, and it's like the last second you just see, and you get like this sort of last second he just manages to attach as you get to hyperspace. That was quite a very good built tension, and even I was wondering where it might be a bit cliche, but I was wondering whether or not they were actually going to get the shuttle thing. Was Echo going to be by himself for a while? But they managed to do so, despite the fact that Vice Admiral Rampart was like, let's see, trying to call off the mission. But it succeeded, and you have a bit of a cliffhanger, which feels a bit abrupt. You're thinking that, okay, you're going to maybe have one last interaction with the Bad Batch with Rampart, like, we're in, now the hard part's about to start. But no, it's just immediately hyperspace, and that's the episode ending. Overall, I think I've enjoyed this episode. I mean, granted, I can probably see more of a younger viewers, say like kids, maybe finding this episode a bit boring because there's no action. But then again, you had the very heavy action episode last one. This one here is more like infiltration and stealth. Some think that some might feel this might maybe a bit filler or taking too much time, but I think it's a pretty good episode for the most part. We get to see Omega interact with the Force-sensitive children, coming up with a plan to escape, using the skills that she's learned from the Bad Batch, and befriending and getting the children to trust her. I do like the confidence she has with Dr. Scalded being set up as probably an obstacle for them, and probably Emery Carr down the line, as we see the sort of maybe rivalry, or questioning of chain and command, if you will, with her. And with the Bad Batch, we pretty much got Echo coming back for one last mission, which will be the last two episodes. The Bad Batch, getting one last look, where they're mostly, for the most part, all black. Mostly just trying to infiltrate the shuttle at first. And their interactions with Vice Admiral Rampart, which for me was the highlight of the show. He's clearly not being redeemed. He's not a good guy. He's just pretty much working with them because he has to in order to get free, because the Empire betrayed him. And I do like how doubtful he is of the Bad Batch's plans, but the Bad Batch managed to succeed pretty much each time, or at least even if just barely. But I do like his how he tries to boss around Imperial officers, like the jokes about him being demoted to captain, the interaction with Echo, and Echo being pretty good at stealthing and infiltrating like the Imperial shuttle Imperial vessel, just enough time for them to get the shuttle to get the shuttle on the vessel so they can get to Tantus base. So yeah. Anyway, that's and setting up for like the first episode of arguably the two-parter finale that we're probably going to get. Overall, it is a very good episode. I enjoyed it. And we're looking forward to it and seeing how the Bad Batch will try and infiltrate Tantus base, try to find Omega, how she tried to escape, and let's see other bits of conflict that we'll see. Arguably Hemlock, the clone assassin. Let's see Nala Se, maybe Rex. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how this all fits in. But I think this episode was pretty good setup for that, with like the stealth mission to get the coordinates to Tantus base, and Omega getting to know the children. If I had to give it an overall score, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. There might not be much action in it, but I think it was a fun episode nevertheless. Maybe a bit of a little plot inconvenience with like the whole Omega quickly taking off the tiles and then putting them back on before Dr. Scad arrived, but it's fine. But yeah, overall good episode. And for those who have ended up listening to this review, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. Whether or not you give a comment, whether or not you like or dislike the episode, subscribe for more episodes, I guess. And I hope to see you again next time for the next episode of the Bad Batch. I am Blue Star Saber, signing off. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye. May the Force be with you.